Hello, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pleb is back. In today's report, well, we got explosive news to cover here today as Trudeau's ex-parliamentary secretary goes on the Jordan Peterson podcast and completely exposes Trudeau for the egotistical narcissist that he is. Also tonight, Stoner Guy is back on the show and absolutely demolishes the Liberals. And for some comedy relief here, Trudeau goes and does a podcast and admits to the world that he thinks he's going to win the next election. You won't want to miss this report. Stick around. Before we start this report, please double check it if you're still subscribed. I'm currently being shadow banned on this channel here, and I finally figured out the reason why. It's because angry leftists continue mass reporting my channel. They're trying to reduce my visibility here on YouTube. So if you want to help me combat these radical wacko leftists, smash subscribe and let's start the report. Welcome to your Wednesday report. We got a lot to cover here today, and before we get into the Jordan Peterson stuff, I want to talk about what's happening in Canadian Parliament right now. The Minister of Poutine, aka Yves-François Blanchet, came out 2 days ago and said that he is actively working to take down the Trudeau government. Let's go see what he has to say. To all the people that say, Pleb, this clip is 2 days old, I've seen it. Yeah, but have you seen it with me doing my French accent? Watch.
If they give you what you ask for, even if it's after this date, does that mean they regain your support?
Let's say that if they give us exactly all we have asked for before they fall.
Listen, if they give us everything there that we asked for there before the deadline, là, écoute-moi tabarnak.
Because if there's a vote tomorrow, they might fall tomorrow. We will look into it and we will be coherent with all what we have said so far. We want precisely.
We will be coherent. We want a deal, let's see. We want to take down Trudeau, man. Will the Jagmate Singh listen, ST, respond to my email call, yes.
What is in Bill 3, C319 and in Bill C282. Bring that to us and we'll discuss. But in the
bring us the deal, man. We got the two bill on the table, 263 and the other one there. We tried to make a deal, man. We want to take down Trudeau, Callis.
They are seriously in danger to fall.
You hear that? You hear that, Canada, man? François Blanchet want to make a deal, okay? He talked to Jagmeet, you know that guy who's not allowed in India there? Well, they tried to make a deal, and at today's press conference, tabarnak, Jagmeet comes out and he says this.
Does that mean that you will not work with the Bloc and Conservatives to bring down the government?
We know people are hurting right now. People are struggling right now. They're having a hard time affording their groceries. They're having a hard time affording a place to call home. And seniors are just...
Hey, Jagmate, it's yes or no ST answer, man. Jai want to make a deal, and then you talk about this, you talk about that. It's all about your ST pension, Callis. Arrête.
Getting help with their teeth. I'm not going to let Pierre Poilievre, the king, cut himself, and the Bloc decide when to cut these things that people need. I'm not going to let them cut the things that people need. So no, I'm not going to play their games.
Okay, we get it, SC. You want your pension, man. You don't even care about Canada, man. You care about Canada less than the Frenchman, Callis. It's obvious.
So, to end the privilege debate.
Okay, run away, coward, man. No answer, as usual. Jagmeet's scumbag, Callis. It's obvious, man. He don't want to do a deal, SC. He don't like Canada. He only care about his pension, man. $2 million. How many SC Rolex are you going to buy with that, Jagmeet? Huh? All right, guys, enough with the French accent, Callis, all right? No more of that. We're going to talk about what happened on Jordan Peterson's podcast yesterday because one of Trudeau's cabinet ministers, his press secretary or something like that, went on his show and completely exposes Trudeau for being the narcissist he is, tabarnak.
Has driven me into the PhD work that I'm doing right now on motivated cognition and understanding what motivates people, their self-appraisal, their self-enhancement, their self-verification. It was really in that moment seeing that everything that needed to align for Justin Trudeau at that moment needed to feed into his feelings or his motivation on self, what he felt about himself. And I came in and within that first 15 minutes of a meeting said, no, I'm not just going to arbitrarily fall into what you deem to be your methodology around your self-enhancement. That is not my role. My role is to represent the people of Whitby. My role is to make sure that we execute a mandate. And I didn't know that at the time, but it really spoke to the fact.
Didn't know what?
I didn't know at the time that probably that wasn't the best move to make, because I assumed that as his parliamentary secretary, as his right-hand person, that he would have wanted someone who was going to be honest. And I don't think that's what he wanted. He wanted someone to confirm a bias that he felt about himself or a lack of self-esteem that he felt about himself by saying, yes, I trust your judgment, Justin. I don't know you, but I'm going to say, yes, I trust you. I could have played that game. I didn't want to.
And if you thought that clip was crazy, wait till you see this next one where Trudeau tells her she can't quit because another woman of color already quit that day, and they can't have two people of color quitting on the same day. This is Trudeau in a nutshell here. It's woke left logic.
I called the prime minister and I said, look, I'm not running again. I didn't even have to give him a reason. I said, I'm not running again. It's 4 years. I'm not getting a pension. I'm not getting anything. I just don't want to do this. He said, well, that was the same day that Jody Wilson-Raybould had stepped down. He couldn't have two women of color leave at the same day.
That's what he told you.
That's all they care about. That's all they care about. This is woke. They view people as the color of their skin and not the content of their character. Trudeau can't have her quit because, no, we can't have two people of color quitting on the same day. What a joke.
Really?
Like, dude, that's not my problem.
Yes. That was his first response to your...
Yes.
Okay, so no, I'm going to play psychologist here for a minute.
I called the...
This story is not surprising in the least bit. Trudeau absolutely panicking that two people of color are quitting on the same day. I mean, he was more pissed that he was losing someone who checked off a box for him in diversity instead of losing what appears to be a really smart woman working very close to him. And this woman is absolutely on the money when it comes to Trudeau's ego and delusions. And this week, Trudeau went on another podcast and embarrassed himself and said something so insane that we're going to laugh at it. He genuinely believes that he's going to win the next election. Watch this.
This is your first sit down, I think, since all this happened. You're not resigning. You're staying on as Liberal.
I had a press conference yesterday,
yes.
I am determined to lead this party into the next election because we need to put all our tools together.
Don't worry, it's only 30 more seconds of Trudeau here. I know you don't like hearing him.
And I am actually really excited about this fight. I think the opportunity to allow Canadians to make the best possible choice for the future is what we all get into politics for, to make a difference, to pitch an argument, and to connect with Canadians in a way that gives them optimism and a realistic plan for the future. That's what we're in the business of, and that's what I'm excited about.
Absolutely. This is your first.
Wow. The real truth is this, folks. I'll take off the Trudeau filter of lies here. He really hates Pierre Poilievre. It's very personal for him, this next election with Pierre. He has a burning desire to beat Pierre, and just because he's so delusional and egotistical, he truly believes that he could beat Pierre in the next election. I believe that he believes that, and thank God Trudeau is this egotistical, because we're going to get to witness the biggest ass-kicking in political history in 2025, and I can't wait. And in our last story here of the night, someone else who keeps Trudeau's ego in serious check is none other than Canadian treasure, Mr. Stoner Guy. And for those of you who want to follow him on social media over on X, it's at ThinksIThinks, releases another absolute banger of a rant that just shits all over the Liberals. And it's just so good, we're going to end the show on this. Here we go.
He never condemned those who were waving a Nazi flag during the Freedom Convoy.
I hate that I have to be nice. There were no those waving a Nazi flag, Melanie. Between the 10,000 protesters in Ottawa and the million or so Canadians that lined the bridges, there were millions and millions of Canadian flags being flown, and one Nazi flag. The flag was seen at the protest for one day, for 30 minutes to an hour. You may not have noticed, because I think maybe Justin had you face down in the pillows at the time, but that flag was condemned immediately by...
First of all, that flag was a plant, but did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch this burn here by Stoner Guy? Your face may have been planted in the pillow at the time. Wow.
Maybe Justin had you face down in the pillows at the time, but that flag was condemned immediately by patriotic Canadians.
Yep.
Not by phony liberal indignation, not by law enforcement. It was everyday Canadians of every kind protesting your corrupt and unprincipled government's rampant abuse of power who wanted nothing to do with that symbolism. That imagery was immediately rejected by the same Canadians that your anti-Canadian government have been continuously attacking and slandering in the years since. The hate and the division in this country is generated by you and your party, and it's intentional.
Facts.
What was arguably the most diverse group of Canadians to have ever come together in protest, Liberals consistently condemn as a bunch of racists, all while supporting a man who wears Al Jolson blackface and refers to conservative black men as twofers. You condemn the freedom protesters as misogynists, all while supporting a man who sexually harassed a woman and hit another woman in the breasts in an act of male workplace violence. Because the unstable man-child couldn't keep his shit together in public. It makes you wonder what it was like at home behind closed doors with Sophie and the kids. You condemn the freedom protesters as Nazis, all while supporting a guy who gives dinner invitations to actual Nazis. The same guy that the tard behind you took a photo with, looking all proud as fuck to do it. To this day, this government is still persecuting and prosecuting Canadians, trying to put some of them in behind bars for years on charges of mischief, while you let a murderous war criminal complicit in the deaths of millions walk into our house and then just walk out. Yaroslav Hunka was a volunteer Nazi, and your government treats that as less of a crime than honking your fucking horn. And you throw the mantle of anti-Semite on the freedom protesters as if Jewish Canadians weren't part of that protest. The anti-Semitism that you see in Canada today has nothing to do with the Freedom Convoy. When those Canadians saw anti-Semitism, they put a stop to it instantly.
Right.
What have you and your side piece done? One guy raised that flag at the protest and 1 million Canadians tore it down. Your party calls them anti-Semites. Another guy, he helped tear down millions of Jews to raise that flag, and you venomous leeches called him a war hero. Tell me again who Jewish Canadians should be afraid of.
He cooked here. He cooked. Look, it's going to be an absolute tragedy if we don't get this guy elected into office, because Stoner Guy speaks for me, and I keep featuring all his rants on my shows because, quite frankly, he makes more sense than any of our politicians. We need more of this in Canada. Stoner Guy for Prime Minister. Okay, my friend, today's episode is over. Okay, but tell me in the comment there what you think about the Jordan Peterson interview with the ex-Trudeau employee, lah. Do you think they went far enough? Did you think Trudeau get exposed for real? Tell me in the comments down below. Alright, if you want to support my channel, the best way to do it is send me a poutine, Callis. No, just joking, lah, arrête, lah. The best way to support me, lah, you like the video, You drop a comment, man. You go and vote yes for separation for Quebec. You go and share the video, or you can buy a membership for that crazy guy, the Pleb, là, 5 piastres, not that expensive. My name is the Pleb, and I see you at the next one, okay? You understand? Bye.